Hello. I want to make a focus video now. Okay. At least I'm going to try. So, what you hear on the mainstream news is false. Okay. They blatantly lie to you. Okay. That's a fact. Okay. It is propaganda that is only serving the corporate agenda and nobody else. Okay. It's serving Lockheed Martin, Boeing, all the weapon manufacturers. It's serving the corporate apparatus, the corporate agenda machine, okay, that's running this planet. And they're running the planet into environmental destruction, into species of animals becoming extinct. They're running it into complete injustice and lies and deception and war and civil war, civil unrest. They create artificial civil unrest where there shouldn't be any. The war in Eastern Europe was artificially created by Volodymyr Zelenskyy, Joe Biden, Joe Biden's son, Kamala Harris. Those are the outward players that you can see, but they're only a fraction even of the tip of the iceberg. Okay, the actual people, the actual players, the ones that dictate to them, they don't want to be known. They don't want to be seen by anyone. They are the string holders behind the curtain. Okay. The curtain of deception of the corporate agenda. Okay. And there are many corporations that are behind this, that are only there to profit and nothing else, that have no vision for the future. Pharmaceutical corporations have no vision for the future. They just want to profit. They don't even care what happens tomorrow. That's how greed-based and profit-driven these people are. It's amazing. They're extremely callous, psychopathic, sociopathic people that are running most corporations. Okay, this is a fact. Vladimir Putin is a good person. Okay, he cares about the planet, about the animals. He cares about justice. He does whatever he can in his leverage situation to make the world a better place. And he wants peace. He wants peace talks. And he is in full agreement with Elon Musk, okay, on setting up meetings and doing peace talks, peace negotiations, finding a peaceful solution. On the other hand, the Ukrainian president, Volodymyr Zelenskyy, does not want peace. He does not want peace talks. He doesn't want any conversations with Elon Musk and Vladimir Putin. No, Zelenskyy wants war. Zelenskyy profits from war. Okay. Now, I hope I explained this now in the most clarifying words possible. I don't think this can be misunderstood now. So, this is the fact. This is what's happening. But what you hear on the news, on mainstream news, all the mainstream, the big news channels and so on, all the social media websites that are all completely infiltrated, they're infested, to use that word, with corporate players, corporate middlemen, corporate collaborators, people who have their price, people who take bribe money, people who only care about their own personal, you know, short-term gain of money, people that are only profit driven and nothing else. They have no vision. Okay. That's why Elon Musk wants to buy Twitter, because he wants to have at least one social media website where we can have freedom of speech. Okay? So, this is very crystal clear now what I'm saying. This cannot be misconstructed or misunderstood. It's very straightforward what's going on. There are so many people in the world that will say to you, to your face, they want communism, they want they want everyone to have food on the table, they want clean water, and they want all kinds of the good stuff. Real communism, real communism is what the way I view it. Real communism is real justice. Okay, is when we have a fund, and out of this fund, and that the fund should be fed by, I would say, 10% sales tax on everything, one time fee on everything, including homes and so boats, everything, cars. Nobody should have to pay the feudal rent to the government for their vehicle or for their home. Okay. That's just taking that's that's fraudulently taking money from people. That also goes against our constitutional rights that the founding fathers have established way back in the 1800s. Okay, so the breaches against our US constitutional rights are happening on a daily basis. Corrupt people in office, corrupt players, corrupt managers that are constantly trying to tweak and chip away at our constitutional rights. If Thomas Jefferson and anyone who was for justice saw this, what's going on right now, they would be furious, absolutely furious, to see what people are making out of their hard work, their tedious hard work that they have put into making this country fair and egalitarian. And all the feminists that have put their work into it. The past feminists, the original founding mothers of our rights, of our freedom, of our egalitarianism that so many people enjoy and just take for granted. And they don't even know how much work has gone into it, and bravery from the side of the women that stood up for women's rights. Okay. And they turn this and they twist this entire thing, the entire what used to be good liberalism, they twist this out completely like a sock. inside out, completely turn it inside out. And they'll put the sock on reversed. They put life, that entire political system on in reverse. That's what they're doing. And people, most people would do anything. They don't care. They would do anything. They will say good is bad and bad is good just so that they can make money. And that those are the ones on the top, the corrupt players. And the people that are on welfare, or the blue collar workers, the people that are not educated, the people that also that refuse education. I have talked to a lot of kids also in Germany. There are people that just simply refuse to get educated. Okay. And sorry to say it, but and this is across any kind of ethnicity. I'm not pointing the finger at any group here. This is the case worldwide with the vast majority of humans. They just simply refuse to get educated. They get bored, they get antsy, they don't want, they can't, they have attention deficit disorder, they're not interested. And also our entire educational system is completely wrong. That's another thing. That's another subject I can talk to you forever about. About every institution worldwide is wrong. Okay, it's completely non-functioning. It's dysfunctional. Okay, so and that's why, from the higher perspective, it is much harder to put the finger on anyone. Say you are bad and you are good, and this is bad and this is evil, and this is good, and then we get to Friedrich Nietzsche, who already criticized this dichotomy, and who said this is a mistake. We can't go about it like this, with this old fairy tale. He is good and he is bad, and then we have this the total we have the total hero and the total villain, the villain that comes from the village, the average, the mean. So mean means average, but it also means mean. The villain from the village is apparently very mean, okay, very psychopathic, very sociopathic. So, but in reality, there are all kinds of shades in between. There is reason behind it, and there's reasoning, not reason. Reason is almost non-existent in this world because societies are upside down and inside out. Their value systems are completely upside down. The institutions are upside down. The schools are upside down. Schools consist, of course, of directors and teachers that are upside down in their heads. So obviously, there's causing and effecting going on nonstop, and it goes into every field and every situation and every area, and every subject, really, worldwide, whatever it is: schools, healthcare, psychology. It's all upside down, completely non-functioning. It's real sad. So, and that's why it's very difficult. I don't even know, because all of this is equally bad. And And then when I pick one subject, then I feel like I'm completely missing out. We're not looking at the whole picture. I'm missing out on explaining all of these other situations that are also causally intertwined in all of this. Okay, so it's one big jumble of non-functioning institutions and situations, and that makes it very difficult. And then picking one out, like now the war and the political situation. So, and then it's very hard for me to just talk about this without talking about the causality that goes into it. The bad education system, the bad healthcare system, the overall corruption, corruptibility, all of this plays into it. And I see exactly what's going on. And now, yesterday, I watched the interview with Tucker Carlson and Kanye West. He changed his name again to Ye. So let's go along with that. That's what he wants to do. Then we have to accept that. Okay. So he interviewed Ye, Kanye. Okay. His former name, I don't know what. I don't even know what his former name before that was. So, but I think he changed his name several times. But some people do that, and it's okay. Some artists do that. Some free thinkers do that. So I have done it myself. So, but that guy, I used to think of him in the past like he is just another rap singer and rap musician who is into women, who is into self-aggrandizing, or who wants fame and who wants money and who is just into praising himself or whatever. That's what I thought in the past. But that's because I didn't pay very close attention to the situation, okay? Obviously. And he also and his wife Kim, I guess they broke up, but his wife Kim, or former wife Kim, they've been through a lot, like mentally, together also. But, and I'm sure she cares about him, and I'm sure Kim has a lot of compassion. But what I have to point out here is that she lets society push her over completely, okay? And she does not summon up the courage, and I'm not going to blame her from the higher perspective. She's probably very, very afraid if she did agree with justice and truth to say it, that there would be terrible consequences for her. But to turn against her husband like this, who is on the side of truth, who wants to make the world a better place, to say something very bullish and mocking to him because he is in support of Donald Trump, that is that's totally unethical, that's totally wrong, and that is out of cowardness. Okay. I'm sorry to say it. Okay. That's cowardness to act like that, to be pushed over by society. That's very coward. That's not courageous. Okay. And that doesn't make your life better at all. That's a lie. That's like accepting a lie because it's more convenient for you socially and financially. Yeah. And obviously, I'm not singling this person out here. The vast majority of humans are like that, are like Kim Kardashian. That is the sad reality of it. Okay? And only a handful of people are like, yeah, Kanye. Okay? Only a handful of people who are leader type of people who do not care what other people think of them. It might make them very sad and makes communication very obviously. It is difficult to push through society when we are standing completely against the mainstream. It's very difficult, and that can cause someone sleepless nights and all of that, and maybe a nervous breakdown. You know, he actually broke down from exhaustion. He talked about it, so, and I know what that's like. Okay, I've been feeling like this many, many times. And that happens because you want to make the world a better place, and Elon Musk in the same boat. Okay? You want to make the world a better place if you're a good person, and then you have the majority of people going against you, calling you names, threatening your life, you know, and that's what's happening. Okay, that is what's going on. The light is weird. My hair looks bad. Sorry about that. I have to. Here's the pink pampas grass behind me. Look how gorgeous that is. Let's focus on the pink pampas grass, okay? Instead of my hair, which also looks quite similar to the to this increasingly pollinatingly pampas grass. My hair is like this here. This is so nice. I love it. So it's pollinating right now. That's okay. It's a lot of seeds in the air. Okay. And they stick to my face and my skin cream and stuff. But that's okay. It's alright. But anyway, so I'm an artist. Okay. I'm a jester. I'm a clown. Always will be. Okay, it's good. I'm a truther, clown, truth sayer. Okay. The jester doesn't have anything to hide. The jester is always working from truth, for truth. And because of that, the jester is being ridiculed. And whoever the jester is, there's a bunch of jesters in the world that will be ridiculed. They will be called clown. Okay. I don't care. I really don't care. I only care about truth. Truth is what matters. But the majority of people don't want truth because they don't want to make any changes in their life that costs money, that costs energy, that costs maybe they cost them their subscribers, views, and so on, their popularity and all of that kind of stuff. Most people put popularity and money and getting liked by those that they like. They put that above justice. They put that above truth. They put this above fairness in the world, and that's what's going on. Okay, and I have to hold the computer here because the light is weird. I don't know. My hair looks absolutely terrible. I'm really sorry. I need a wig made out of the pampas grass. That would look so much better. I could pretend I don't have split hair, but pampas grass looks like split hair too. But that's okay. At least it would look full and long. Whatever. But yeah, but I have to, I always point out these things that I observe in the world, and I think it's important. Yeah. I have to do it. This is, I'm driven to do that. This is very, very important to say something. The truth has to be said, the truth has to be shown to people. And that's what Elon Musk wants to do when he gets Twitter. And I hope he gets Twitter. I hope he gets full legislation over Twitter. Then he can kick all of these corporate middlemen out. Because right now, Twitter is run by corporate middlemen that are serving the corporate agenda and the lies and the propaganda and all of that to get people on board with a complete fake war that has been set up just so that Lockheed Martin and Boeing and the weapon manufacturers can continue selling their weapons to the governments and so on costs of the taxpayers with our tax money. Okay, and that's a real atrocity. People that work hard their whole lives, real hard working people out there that pay a lot of income tax, and then this income tax is being funneled, so fraudulently funneled into the bank accounts of weapon manufacturers and so on. It's absolutely abhorrent to see, and into injustice and all kinds of horrible things. Pesticide distribution, the pesticide manufacturers that want the government then as in order to as a favor for them giving them a bunch of money. They want their favor and they want to get their vested interest governmental positions. So the government is completely infested and infiltrated with these corporate managers that are coming from those kind of corporations that want to just have a permanent customer of their products, whether that's weapons or pesticides or other chemicals that have been patented, that are totally artificial, that don't belong into nature, that are killing the pollinator insects. When the pollinator insects die, we will have famines. Okay, the food plants won't grow. Okay, they have to be pollinated. Okay? Or the food prices will go so sky high because people are going to have to pollinate those food plants by hand in greenhouses. They're already doing this in Asia in a lot of places. So I heard that in China they already, because of so much pollution and pesticides and chemicals, that they're losing the pollinators and they have to pollinate the food plants themselves, and that's very, very labor intensive and very costly. Okay, and that can cause a drastic increase in poverty and food shortages. Okay, so but most people don't put any kind of thought into this. They just take everything for granted. They refuse to get educated on all of this. They just want to have their biased view. They want to have their biased religion and their biased sports team community that they feel like they belong to. And boy, is that being marketed all of this, and they will make sure to keep this. The corporate agenda wants all of that. That's how they can manipulate the public the best. Okay. If people are not educated, if people are emotional like that, where they have to, and emotional in a very bad way, I mean, so yes, that spray bottle is there. What I mean by that, emotional in a very bad way, being being in need of social acceptance, and being in need of belonging to some kind of sports team side. And they don't even play sports, those most of those people. They use this as a religion. Okay? Or they have to belong to some kind of religion, and the more fake the religion is, the more it draws people into it. And pay attention to all of this. Also, violent. The more violent it is, seems like the more violent the religion is, the more they draw people into it. This is a real neurotic mechanism that's going on, and very dangerous. I have to say all of these things. It's important, It's important to talk about this. Very, very important. And and it's important that at least someone or a handful of people, those are they're always in the minority, those people that will broadcast the truth to the public. And they're very courageous. And Kanye is one of those rare people who will tell you the truth. Okay. And Twitter is that's like the perfect example of what's going on there on Twitter. This is total insanity what's going on there on Twitter. The majority of permanent tweets come from, I don't know, 80% of chatbots or spam bots. I think more 80% or more than 80%, maybe 90% of all tweets on Twitter are coming from spam bots. Okay, spam bots that have been programmed to permanently spam the public with propaganda, permanently, nonstop, and with like kind of covert insults against certain people. Again, there are always covert insults against people that want to make the world a better place. They're bombarding the public with insults against Elon Musk, against Donald Trump, against Kanye, against anyone who wants to make the world better. So, and the majority of people are afraid of that, of course. They're afraid that this kind of mechanism would happen if they said the truth. So the majority of people will not say the truth, just out of fear of being made fun of, or of losing their customers, their viewers, and so on, their subscribers, or their Hollywood show business career, and so on. That's very sad. You got to summon up your courage, Ellen, and everyone out there. Gotta summon up your courage to stand up strong against this stream of harassment, against this stream of total corruption. It's not just a financial corruption. They're corrupting people's minds, okay, through terror. They terrorize everyone. Stand strong in this, please. Okay? Say no to that corruption. Say no to violence. Say no to hate groups. Say no to Black Lives Matter. Say no to forests being set on fire. And support the people that want to make the world a better place. Support Kim.com. Okay. Kim.com is a man from Germany who lives in Australia. And he said he's never even lived in the United States. He's never had any business with the United States. He tweeted that yesterday. Yet he is banned from the United States. And even they even threatened to extradite him to the United States to penalize him. Someone who doesn't even have anything to do with this country. And all of that is because he was one of the very major players in ending this copyright infringement law that we have. That is, we I mean, this is worldwide. Seems like in the entire Western world, or English speaking countries, this copyright infringement legal setup that only serves the corporate agenda. Okay. Kim.com, and also Aaron Schwartz from the United States, who was a student at MIT, who was into computers, computer programming, and so on. Very courageous kid. Who he was one. It was one day before. And I want to tell. I need to tell that John Allen about this. John Allen needs to make one storytelling video about Aaron Schwartz. This is very, very important that the public knows about these kind of things, that these kind of things are happening right here in this country. What they did to Aaron Schwartz is absolutely abhorrent. Because Aaron Schwartz had collected a lot of activists and a lot of people that stood by his side with this, and he knew the law very well, and he was able to represent himself in court. It was one day before that very powerful day where Aaron Schwartz was going to stand up in front of the Supreme Court and make his case against the copyright infringement law that we have right now, that was just set up by the corporate agenda so that they can have total power and total legislation. And this copyright infringement law has gone into extremes where, at least in India, where it's even more corrupt than here, where these big corporations like Monsanto went in and they patented genetically modified food plants. And then if these seeds got onto other farmers' properties, and these seeds started to get mixed into their own food and they didn't even know, then those other people sued them for everything they had, and these people ended up committing suicide. They sued them with this completely fraudulent claim that they have stolen their patented plants. Okay. Now it has gone to that point. That's a copyright infringement law taken to an absolute extreme. But it's already very extreme here with all kinds of things. It goes to the point where you can't even use certain words. Certain words have become like taboo, and certain phrases that have like someone owns a sentence, like someone owns a word or a name or something. All of this is extremely wrong. And so Aaron Schwartz would have won. he would have won this, and that would have completely busted up that entire copyright infringement law. And because of that, they sent they sent hitmen to his apartment. He didn't even have bodyguards. That is the whole thing is so incredibly sad. They went into his apartment, they hung him and made it look like suicide. And it was absolutely not suicide. His girlfriend talked about this. She said he was full of hope. He was completely on the roll with this. He was looking forward to that trial, that where he was going to be speaking out against the copyright infringement law. So it was an assassination from the side of the corporate agenda. They wanted to get rid of him. They didn't want that to happen. That big court day. Okay. And that's what's happening in the United States. So, and Kim.com from Germany, he was also doing things that is real strong activist. He's a computer also into computers, computer programming. He is extremely intelligent, like genius level, also like Aaron Schwartz, and he was also very much starting to turn this upside down. Okay, this copyright infringement thing, which he the reason why they hated him here is because what he was doing was reaching the whole world. Of course, if he's doing that, then it would reach everywhere. We would outlaw this copyright infringement law. That's just a loophole for the corporate agenda, and that would be outlawed. And then the corporations could not use that for their corruption, and they don't want to miss out on that loophole. Okay, so and because they have their fingers in politics and all of this, they actually wanted to put Kim.com in prison, even though he's not even in the United States. But this kind of stuff is going on, and people need to be informed about this. And I'm very worried about all of this. This is real scary, you know. And I mean, I'm not expecting anything better from humans because humans are greed apes. Okay, most people are completely greed driven. And it's sad, that I'm sorry that he's making noises now while I'm making a video. That's very rude of him. So, but that's what he does. He doesn't respect me. Okay. And it's all sad. And my living situation is very unhappy, and it is what it is. I'm just trying to make the best out of it. So, but I have to talk about these things because that's on my mind 24 hours per day. I even dream about it, and I'm so worried about this, and I mean, we had horror happening in the Middle Ages that just shifted a little bit because we created better legal systems, but the more psychopaths you have in a country, the worse will be the situation, the political situation, the legal situation, and the less rights you will have, and the less freedom you will have. And that's why I do what I can to stand up for freedom for everyone, for egalitarianism, for making the world a better place, for saving the animals and the entire planet. And that's all I can do, make videos, bring awareness to the world, okay? So you guys take care. Peace out.